Okay. Good evening. Welcome. This is the Tibet Center, Tibetan Buddhist Meditation Center, under the direction of Chabje Ling Rinpoche and the sub-direction of Rato Khensa Thupten Lunda. We all call him Nikki Vreeland. We're very, very pleased, very honored. As a result of our good works, we have the opportunity to hear Tenzin Lhadron, which means light of the deities, right? Something like that. She is. Very informal, very friendly. She's going to talk on her life as a Geshema, or becoming a Geshema, her spiritual path. So if you want to question, you could write questions online, but I don't know if we'll have time for them. But this is her first visit here. She will be stationed in the United States. She is already living in the United States in northeastern Connecticut, in a place called the Forest of Wisdom. You can Google it. It's a very good introduction, tells you all about the place, accessible to Westerners. And she also does online classes there, right? Am I right? So thank you so much for taking the time in your very, very busy schedule to come and see us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome. Chape na.
Thank you.
Anybody come there?
Okay, so thank you so much. Thank you, Tonila. Margla told me your name, Tonila, Tenzin
All of
La,
us. We're one person.
Sitting La, Scout La, we know, I think Grace, and you? Yuji? Yuji and Michael? Verna.
New people. These are two new people.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for coming.
Yeah.
It's really beautiful, and I just feel like just coming home. Even though this is my first time, I just feel like home, okay? Very relaxed, full of energy. Meaning, there's some texture, kind of feeling like this is something, because His Holiness the Dalai Lama, Leng Rinpoche, Lhadron Rinpoche, Khensa Rinpoche, Zon Rinpoche, so many Buddhas and Bodhisattvas who have blessed the place. And then we enter into here where you see His Holiness throne, where he sit, give the Kali Chakra initiation in the United States long ago, right? And what else you need? The Kali Chakra deities, His Holiness. You have everything what you need, I think, right?
Yes.
So maybe more than you need. I'm sorry. This is the way that I start. And thank you for the introduction, and thank you for making the connection, Magla and others. And I've heard Tibet Center quite a long time ago, and so it's a real, what do you call it? I'm here. I don't know how this causes condition brought us in here in this beautiful cozy rooms, and so I feel really, really blessed. So thank you for, and oh, Simon La, here you go. From IBD, we live actually in the same building. He's in the first floor, first, right?
Okay.
About on the fourth, in Dharamsala, about 5-7 minutes walking distance from the Dalai Lama, temple, the resident, the main temple. So I'm sure Dharamsala everybody know, right? So now what I'm supposed to talk today, and I to share my journey. The title was the title is, right? Yeah. My journey to become a Geshema. And then the other one was a Bodhicitta. I'm not sure what I'm going to share with that. And let me share a little bit about my journey or my story. And I was born in Zanskar, Ladakh, a small, tiny village called Ubarak in Zanskar. It's high in the Himalaya in the north, India. And grew up there until the age of 13. I have 7 siblings, 5 sisters, 2 brothers, me, we are 8. And we grew up in a nomadic family. We call it semi-nomadic. I mean, we go in the summer to the pasture on the mountain with the animals, and then winter stay home. And we grew up almost, I often say everything we have is very 100% organic, meaning what you eat, what you wear, where you sleep, everything is coming from the nature. There's no any artificial thing at all. When we were there, now a lot of changes happen. Now a lot of changes happen. When we were there, when we were growing like a little child, we have goats, yaks, horse, donkeys, and then we have farms, and that's what's the living, the farms, animals, play with the animal, taking care of the animal, and then I would just share how our family, the influence of the Buddha's teaching in this area. From 7th, 8th century, Buddhism started to go to Tibet from India, and at the same time it started, go to the Himalaya as well. At present, it's called like Indian Himalayan region. So my blood, I guess I'm Tibetan, because we have the story, the history, religion, language, way of living, food, everything's exactly identical Tibetans, but somehow we become part of Indian, state, or Indian citizen. That's what it is presently. And the Buddhist teaching influence in this area is really, really, really like very much rooted in the living, even eating, wearing, walking is so much connected with the Buddhist teaching. And then when we were growing up little, this monastery, the nunneries, and then the lay people community, we have really close connection with the monastery. So how does that work? It's like most of them, villages, like there are, let's say, 6, 7 different villages. This village are part of this monastery. What does that really mean? This is how it really kind of designed in there. Meaning we are affiliated with this monastery, or affiliated with that temple, or that nunneries. The meaning is the lay people, the lay community, invite the monks and nuns in their home to do pujas, prayer, giving consultation, giving advices when they face some kind of difficulties, death in the family, or some health problem, or any problem they were facing. So they go to the temple sometime with like a tsampa, milk, and different kind of offering, and go to the monasteries and asking some advices from the monastery, and sometimes they invite to the home. The monastery and the community have the connection is like this. Throughout the year, in our family, in the village, we have to do certain, prayer, meditation, and pujas, or very much like a monastery thing in each family. For example, here the Buddha's, Enlightenment Day, or the Buddha's, playing the miracle month, or when the Buddha's turned the train of the wheel of Dharma. And the monastery also have to do this pujas, prayer, and teaching, and the same thing in the village also do. So I used to just participate almost of the time, when I was little, and then these are very much connected with this. But now things are a little changing. And then the education, how the education passed, the Buddhist teaching, compassion, loving kindness, and wisdom, which is the essence of the Buddhist teaching, right? This actually teaching is passed from generation to generation, more like orally transmitted in a way. I see it's a really, really rich kind of tradition we had, right? It's something in Tibet. And me personally, my mom is really, both my mom and dad, they're really religious people, and they used to have, my mom had actually two uncle who visited Tibet before 1959. And one actually came back to India, to Zanskar, Ladakh, and he stayed in the monastery, and then they come to visit us quite often. And each time they come to visit, they give a lot of teaching, meaning related with some story, and then teach about how to live life with happy, calm, peace. Just teaching us, you can't be aggressive, you can't be cruel, you can't be attached too much for things, you have to well behave, you have to respect the elders, you have to love to the youngers. These kind of advices all the time they give. And throughout the year we have this in a different festival, different prayers and pujas and doing. And then also the monks and nuns, what you do is the monastery, survive with the local people donation, could be. The donation is more like in the form of, it's called alms downs, right? In the terms we use alms down. During Buddha time, I guess the monks and nuns, they go to, like in the morning, go with the alms balls. Yeah, the balls, and get the, alms for living. But in the Tibetan and the Ladakhi or the Himalayan tradition in the past, what you do is, during the harvesting time, or the nomad people when you go to the mountain, and there's a tradition. The monastery have different festivals or prayers and meditation practice. So for example, like a fasting, like a practice, like 8 sets of this. I think 8 sets, 2 sets, no 4 sets. Lot of fasting practice. Where you do the practice of Avalokiteshvara and Avalokiteshvara, right? And then they have Malam on the miracle Buddha's miracle months, about for a whole month. And then there are many religious practices done in the monastery. And then the monks, they have monastery, they come to Nyerpa, you call it Nyerpa, meaning who have to responsible to organize all the foods and everything. And these monks, both the monks and nuns, what they do to get this prepare this food for when they have to organize the pujas and prayer. Sometimes they go to like a nomad camp to get milk, dry cheese, butter, and then take to the monastery and store in the storeroom. And then during harvest time, the monks, nuns, they come to get grain, peas, wheat, to make a sampa for their living. In the summer, mostly they do, and in the winter, very much like a meditation, retreat, prayer, telling stories. And the stories are mostly like related with the Buddhas and Bodhisattva stories, like Geshema Lhadron stories, and Buddha's life of the Buddhas. And then, the Doazangmo Namtar, we call it Namtar. Most of the senior people, they have actually memorized most of these stories. And they just teach us, they just tell us. The winter was really long those times, but these days much difference. We have like almost 6, little more than 6 months covered by snow. So you don't have much to do other than reading scripture, telling Buddha's and Bodhisattva's life story, the elders to the youngers. The younger ones just listening, and then, in between play a little bit. Otherwise, you get a lot of, teaching, orally, transmitting. And everybody is very inspired. Like, we are 8 of us. We grew up like that way. And we're all kind of twins, look like all same age sort of thing right now. But the environment that we grew up, I see is really healthy. I don't know how come. It's really, really healthy, I think. Somehow, I don't know. I mean, the food is more like zampas, dry cheese, curd, milk, and then the clothes that we wear when we make like handmade, what do you call it, woolen thing. And then even the pot where we cook, it's stone stone one. It's like a clay pot, clay pot, and then the spoons are wooden made spoons. That's really healthy, interestingly, right? So we have this. Yeah, we have some aluminum sort of kind of utensil, but mostly wood, stone, this thing. And then when you make this sampa, last time Srindomala and Skarla, they came in with the sampa. It's really delicious sampa. Oh. I just recall my young age when we were going to the where we make the sampas. My father is really fond of making that. So this is my childhood thing, and I feel like very much connected with the Buddha's teaching from the very young age. Even though you don't have to say are you Buddhist or not, I think we live with the Buddha's teaching for centuries. And then, okay, now we're on my journey. Have to move with that. When I was 7, I think, Losao Rinchen Zangpo is a great translator of the Tibetan Buddhism from during the second wave of the Dharma. prevailing to Tibet, and his reincarnation is 1901, visited my village in the summer, and he visited our village, and then we were just sitting outside like this. We have like a lawn next to the field, and everybody welcomed Rinpoches with milk, curd, some katas, flowers. In the summer we have beautiful flowers, wild flowers, and it smells so good. It's full of like I don't know, it's full of gems, full of fragrance, smell of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, something like that. It's really beautiful. So, and two girls, same age of mine, their parent took them to Rinpoche to take a like hair cutting ceremony, to become nuns. It's called a hair cutting ceremony, which means like formally you're declaring that you're going to become a monastic in the future. And then my mother noticed that, and then my mom actually asked me, "Would you like to become a nun?" And without any hesitation, so I say yes. Why not? Because we saw many monks, nuns visit our house most of the time, especially when we are harvesting. All the other monastery monks, nuns, they come, and most of them actually stay in my home. Somehow, because of these two uncles, have some influence. My mom uncles who have been to Tibet and come back. One came back who have quite influence, with these monasteries. I don't know because of that or what. Most of them, they stay in my house. And then I happened to go to the younger monks to help them to catch some fresh water, and then showing that there's some sambai over here and the potatoes here. In the monks, when they come to stay in our house, and my mothers, they say, okay, you have the food stuffs over here, you can just cook for yourself. And then my parent let them do whatever they want. Just showing this is the cooking place. We have the things that you need to cook, make the butter tea, and or maybe Tibetan call like what is that? Zengong karsa. It's a zengong. We have some zampa is roasted barley, right? A flour, roasted barley flour. You have like four different types of them. One is actually you can just mix with the water. Tea, butter and butter and dry cheese. Mix it. You can just eat it. There's another one is half cook, but you have to boil the water and then put some salt and then mix it. It becomes it's kind of traditional sort of cake in a way. And then you can eat with yogurt or curd. But this is what the monks are doing, and I usually just run around there and showing this and that. So these kind of influences are really, really, healthy. But why I think I twist a little bit. My story was about the hair cutting ceremony. So my mom say, "Would you like to become a nun?" I say yes, and then my dad took me to Rinpoche, and request him to Rinpoche, could you please, do the hair cutting ceremony for her, so she's going to become a nun. And then I did it. I think I was a 7 or 8. I think 7, something like that, long ago. So since then, I start in the winter. My grandfather and my dad start me to teach how to read the scripture, and we have the tradition how to teach for the children to read the scripture. We actually in the Himalaya and the Tibet, I think same. We start not really. We don't start with the alphabet. What we do is we start with one sutra called Diamond Dojichopa. It's Diamond Kata Sutra.
Yeah.
Have you that? Yeah, Diamond Kata Sutra. This is it's really, I find really fascinating how this tradition came. You have to pick up that text, and then you have to learn how to read. You have to read first, one letter one by one, and then later they teach us how to really read the whole sentence. So we have to, about more than a month, they teach us only how to say just one by one, like a, how do you call it, syllable? syllable, separately. You have to really stick with that for like until you completely finish all the way, from the beginning to the end, which may have like 15 to 20 pages of Dharmakaya Sutra. It's not that long, but of course the Prajna Paramita Sutra, which Buddha's given during the second 20 wheels of Dharma in Vulture Pig, right? And my dad and my grandfather taught me how to read that, and then I somehow learned first syllable, and then later how to read all together, and then my oldest sister also joined me, and then we always read early in the morning, 2-3 times all the time, and somehow we memorize almost. And this is how we really taught. And then I think in 1988, His Holiness the Dalai Lama was invited to Zanskar, which is really in the center of Zanskar, where we have a built palace we call Potong, meaning the palace of His Holiness the Dalai Lama. So where His Holiness gave the Kalachaka initiation, but he visited 1 or 2 times before too. I think I was 3, 4. I remember that the first time I was at maybe 85 somewhere, where His Holiness gave the teaching on the foundation of good qualities by Lama Tsongkhapa. I remember that quite clearly because my dad used to, after receiving the teaching from His Holiness, he always read every day the foundation of good qualities. And then my sisters and I think 2 of me and my older sisters, we were just listening, my dad reciting that, and somehow by listening to him, both of us actually somehow memorized. Interestingly, then we were just reciting all the time. We don't know the meaning, I guess. A little bit, yes, but not much. But we were doing that a lot. And then, how to praise to Manjushri, another interesting connection we have. My mom, she does this, the praise to the verses that, praising to Arya Manjushri. She encouraged us, the younger, you should memorize these verses to praising to Arya Manjushri, and then recite the mantra Arya Orama Arapasana Titi. Early in the morning, we get up, not really get up, but we stay in the bed, and then we just Om Arapasana Titi. We just like doing a lot of recitation. Just planting seed, I guess. We don't know the meaning that well, little bit, I guess, but not much. But reciting. Arya Manjushri is praise to the Manjushri, and then the mantra, and then reciting the foundation of good qualities. And then interestingly, I find really interesting why I was, Oma, what was that? Oma, what was that? Hayangirva's mantra. I don't know why my mom and my dad taught me to recite Hayangirva mantra. We're reciting in the Hayangirva mantra. Of course, the Om Mani Padme Hum, look at the Shara mantra is everybody, Tibetans and Himalayan, they know, like natural, nobody has to teach it. They just, like naturally adapt from the elders. But somehow my parents actually taught me how to recite the Hayangirva mantra. And these 3, in the winter, we always recite 3-4 times, in the winter, especially in the winter, sometimes summer too. This is my life in there. And then when we got the, what was that? Kalachaka initiation in 1988 in Zanskar. I think that was second time in Ladakh, but first time in Zanskar. And maybe during the teaching or the last day, His Holiness the Dalai Lama, if any young girls who want to become a nun and join in different nunneries in Tibetan, community have established nunneries where they could study philosophy more like in systematic way. Maybe you could try to send them to study. So that was His Holiness mentioned during the teaching. And then one senior nun came to visit my house that day, and then she saw me. I had shaved my hair because since my hair cutting ceremony, I was supposed to become a nun. And then she said, "What is she going to do?" And my mom said she's going to become a nun. And then where is she going to go? Because we didn't have a nunnery at that time in my area. There are some nunneries, but what I'm saying is this village belong to that monastery, meaning you have to stick with a certain tradition. And in Zanskar we have majority of the Buddhists who belong to in more like we call it a Gelu tradition, and we have a Kagyu tradition monasteries. And I think these two are the main kind of tradition we have, but we have to just stick with Buddhist tradition rather than this and that. This is my now feeling. But those time, we have, if someone become a monk, in my village, if someone become a monk or nuns, if you have a monastery or nunnery, you have to enroll in that monastery. Because, the community, the lay community and the monastery are connected so much. What we need, the lay community offer them the food and clothes, and then the monastery do consultation, prayer, the house, they have to do pujas and prayer every year. Throughout the year, each month, you have to do certain thing, and you have to invite the monks and nuns to do that. So then that way you work more kind of accurately, I think, rather than, you just randomly asked to do it. So this is kind of, it may have some kind of lineage thing too, I guess. So then we didn't have a nunnery at that time. Right now, there is one nunnery created about 20 years ago. But when I was there, there's no nunnery for me. But then I was supposed to become a nun and I learned how to read and then when His Holiness mentioned that, and then the senior nun came visit my home, and I think the causes condition made me to go. Where are you going to go? And then my mom and this senior nun, my parents, they were having some discussion about that. And then she asked me if I'd like to go to Dharamsala with her now. Oh yes, I go. I'd like to go then. And then just during the lunchtime, they were having this conversation. In the evening, we decided, we packed some sampas and cheese and something and came. This is how it just happened. So funny, no? And then how do you go? And then it was just right after the Kalachakra teaching finished, and there was one monk, my sister-in-law's brother actually, and he was actually responsible to taking the Namgyal monks and some security people from Dharamsala, book a bus and going to take them to Zanskar to Dharamsala. And then, the senior nun went to ask her brother, do you have extra seat for two of us? And they did have one. They did have some seat there. And then we joined with them and came to Dharamsala. And then when you arrive in Dharamsala, there's only one nunnery. Ganden Chiling was the only nunnery, and they didn't have enough space. We went to their office first to get admission, but they didn't have enough space. And they were saying, okay, you can stay in waiting list, and we will let you know by December. I think we arrived in August sometime, and then I stayed with the senior nun somewhere in Tiba Road. And then later there was one Ladakhi older nun. She heard this one Kamalesh Somo, the founder of the Jamia Children Nun where I studied. I heard this one American nun have some plan to organize, create a nunnery, and who is studying at the IBD right now. Let's go to ask her if she is really, starting nunnery or not. And two of them went to see her. And then they met, and then she said, yes, come. And she have rented some, it's called Old Jamia Chingling, right? Simon, no. Injingompa, it's known as Injingompa. I think Tushita was renting that place for some time, I don't know. And there were two nuns there, 2 or 3. But they were not staying at the nunnery, they were staying somewhere else. And then there was a small kind of classroom. And then Leshit Somo, who is an American nun, who was studying at the IBD. I think she was the first, foreign nun who, enrolled to study at IBD those time. And she was really happy that there are some few young nuns wanted to study. And she asked some of her friends to teach us how to read and write, like Tibetan, and then asked some of his and her friends to teach English. And this is how we really started Jamia Children. And then we studied, I think, 1989 to 2005. since like she was studying at the IBD, and she went to IBD means Institute of Buddhist Dialectic School. She went to request some of her teacher to teach us philosophy, and they were happily accepted to teach us. And then she also went to Namgyal Monastery in Kensington Rinpoche, and he was teaching at Namgyal Monastery at that time. I think she did the request through the office, and then His Holiness office or Namgyal Monastery office, I'm not sure. And they requested, Rinpoche to teach us. So we have very brilliant teachers, those who came from Tibet and studied the Baksa, most of the Tibetan, teacher who came from Tibet and stay in it's somewhere in Bhutan and India border. There's a place where they all study. So most of the senior monks, teachers from Sera, Debong, Ganden. So we had 4 or 5 of these brilliant teachers for like nearly, 20 to 25 years. That's really fortunate, I think. Yeah. So then we start the formal study, and our teachers really help us to how to really, lay down the curriculum in which tag you're supposed to study in each year and what you need to do, because like she's just founded the nunnery, but she don't have much experience about, setting up the curriculum and giving the examination, and maybe in the future sometime you have to create certain kind of diploma or, certificate. And those time the Geshemas, all these things are not really much kind of discussed much, but mainly to study and try to practice. And then 95, some people were talking, okay, the nuns are studying and debating, but now maybe it's good to start for them. It's called Janggunche, meaning in the inter-debate kind of tournament among the nunneries. Because the monasteries, they're doing every year about a month, they will do debate. The debate, this topic is Pramanavartika. And they do study together, by rotation way from the monasteries, right? One time in Sera, one time in Gandhi, sometime Debung. Similar thing, maybe the nuns should have that too. And somebody approached to the religious office in Dharamsala, we should organize this kind of, debate competition or debate tournament for the nuns. And in 95 was the first year we gather in Ganden Chiling Nunnery in Dharamsala. At that time, 3 nunneries, Jamyan Chiling, 4. Jamyan Chiling in Dharamsala, Ganden Chiling in Dharamsala, and Domaling in Dharamsala, and then Changchup Chiling in Mongat. So 4 nunneries, each nunnery 15 to 20. We gathered together about, I think, nearly 200 nuns gathered together in Ganden Chiling Nunnery, and we study the Pramanavartika chapter 1 and debate together. And then toward the, not really the very last, but toward the ending week, I guess, there was one Geshe from Ganden, and who was, took initiative to, create that. Kandasharse, I think. And then some of our teachers also. And they went to, religious office or the historian's office himself, directly. The nuns are debating pretty good. So maybe it's good to have, to perform debate or maybe have an audience with His Holiness and get some advice from him. And then His Holiness accepted. He wanted to watch the nuns debate. It was in October, interestingly, very interesting. In October, when all the monks, nuns, other lay people, they were all gathered at the main temple doing the, Guru Bum Sok. The Brahmasambha was in Guru Bum. Guru Bum Sok, where you do a lot of Sok offering the whole day, 5 days. And it was actually sponsored by the Tibetan, what do you call it? Tutu Mamira.
Oh,
It's,
yes.
what do you call it?
Tibetan army in.
It's more like we call it. Yeah. It's labeled Tibetan tutu, or something. I don't know what does that mean, but it's more like a trained Tibetan
It's under the
Indian government.
army, yes.
Yeah, but it's a traditional camp for some time from the 70s. In every year, 5 days at the main temple, they cook, they do everything, and invite all the monks and nuns do this Sok offering, Guru Brahmasambha Sok offering. It was that time, His Holiness usually 1 or 2 times he always attend the pujas, and one day he attended the talk offering in the afternoon, and then he wanted to watch the nuns debate. And he was on the top of the mountain, at the men temple upstairs, attending the prayer. And right after that, we were actually downstairs and gather, and we debate about, 5 minutes, 3 minutes, because we were young, right? Only like 18 or 20s or something like that. And from each January 2, 4, like a few minutes debate, and then he was really pleased. It was huge gathering, interestingly, because the Bumso was happening. And then there were so many other teachers were there. And interestingly, how did this happen? Venerable Children was there. And I think some of the former, or maybe some abbots of the monasteries are there. Anyway, we debate a little bit. And then the next day, His Holiness wanted to meet us in the palace. And he gave us like advice about nearly an hour. And she's just make each and every in detail. Now you're debating, you're studying, and you need to just open. It's a time for us to proper plan for the nuns. What kind of subject you need to finish, and when you're finishing after like a 10-15 years time, you may be ready to become Geshe or Geshema. Those times they don't call Geshema or something, but we may have a point that we need to offer kind of similar kind of degree as a Geshe for the nuns. And he gave very detailed, like how to do it, who will do it. For now, you have to just focus the study, and then when you are ready, we have to prepare that. And then he was just looking with all our teachers also, all the 4 nunneries teachers were also with us. And then he was actually pointing that maybe some of the teachers, you need to take a responsibility to create that. So that was in 95. And then we studied until 2005, 6, and then later 2012, the curriculum, the duration of the Geshemas, which subject, which text you need to cover, and was laid down. It's form of His Holiness again. Encourage us, the concerned office people and the concerned institution and the teacher, lay down this study and the curriculum, and then let's do that. 2012 they did it, and 2013 to 16, I joined into the first group who took this rigorous sort of studies and did the Geshema examination, and 2016 completed, and we were graduated at Timu Monastery in December. I think it's on December 22nd. So this is my journey. Okay, now
9 years.
this is my journey. Okay, I think I somehow managed to put up. I'm not sure, but I think the main talk should be bodhicitta. But I don't. You have so many bodhicittas here, bodhisattvas here. I can see there's so many bodhisattvas here. We have so many bodhisattvas here, so I don't need to say anything other than we are all inspired with the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas deeds and the teachings, and they are our role model. They are our teachers. They are our hope, I think, right? All the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas we have. See, His Holiness, Ling Rinpoche, and Radha Rinpoche, Khensa Rinpoche, and Tony Lai, who have been so many years here, I guess, right? And Mark Lai, and you're all, I think we are really good karmic connection. Because it's not just, it's more like a spiritual connection. I guess it meant to be, right? So, bodhicitta, I don't have much, I think all of you know much more than me. But I'm really, truly, what do you call it? The teaching of the Buddha is something really important for us. It's not really just to, our teacher, Geshe Ttc, Buddha doesn't mean Buddhist, right? It's really true. Buddha means awaken yourself.
Can you say that again?
Buddha means
Geshe Ttc, our teacher, right? We are, most of us look like an NMC Nalanda Master Course participant. He always tell us, Buddha doesn't mean Buddhist, right?
Or Buddha is not a Buddhist?
No, Buddha. No. Buddha doesn't mean Buddhist.
Internal.
Buddha, whether Buddha is Buddhist or not, Buddha is Buddhist or not, yes, of course, Buddha is Buddhist. Oh, let's
Are you
see.
sure?
Let's see. Buddha is. You don't want to do this technical debate here. I know what you mean. Buddha really doesn't mean Buddhist. I really strongly believe that. Because Buddha means awakened one. Technically. It's awakened from sleep of ignorance. And everybody wants that. I'm pretty sure everybody wants that. But then how and where to start and how to do it, then you need to study well, right? We need to understand the concept well, and we need to, know how to really implement your, how do you really make it as a part of your practice or part of your life. And then we are so fortunate that we have got this opportunity to study. We have so many teachers, enlightened teachers are there. And just feel so rejoiced and feel fortunate. The teachers' teachings are available no matter whether foreigner or Easterner or Westerner or Tibetan or Indian. Doesn't matter. Everybody wants happiness. Everybody wants to be calm and peace. And then how do you really create calm and peace and happiness? And these teachings are so rich. What do you think?
Absolutely.
Can you explain?
Well, you talked about awakening.
Uh-huh.
So is that the same as happiness?
Awaken. Complete happiness, long-lasting happiness, yes. Then yes, there's layers. There's level of how do you really get there. Long-lasting happiness and never-changing happiness can't get. But then, yes, we have to start from our own level and then move forward and forward. And then one day, definitely there's a way that you can get long-lasting happiness. When you're rid of the self-grasping ignorance and the self-cherishing mind or the egoistic mind and open yourself to others. And we are all human beings or sentient beings who really seek happiness and peace. Nobody want to misery, I guess, right? Nobody want, but then we don't know how to really do that. Because we have so many misperception, and we have so many kind of illusion, afflictions are there. It's not easy to rid of, but there's hope. There's always hope there. We have the wisdom, we have the innate wisdom, I guess, and we have the compassion, the seed of compassion and loving kindness. See, everybody have beautiful smile. This is truly coming from that. I would say, yeah, why not? So because of that, everybody wants it, whether you're a believer, no-believer, or maybe even against religion. Even dogs and cats want to be happy. So bodhicitta is about that, right? Bodhicitta is about that. Compassion is about that too. And sharpening your mind and gaining more knowledge is about that too. So yeah, I think I would say thank you for listening, and bodhicitta, I just share how to smile well. You need to learn how to smile truly. Genuine smile, right? What do you think, Scott?
I think so, yes.
Genuine smile is really required. Then if you smile genuinely, I think the stress, depression, anxiety subside. Slowly go away. What do you think? I think so, right? Yeah. So that's what we're looking. So my journey about the Geshema, and Geshema is just a title. There were certain time that I was really strong about that. We should have it. It is something. Education is also equality, or maybe let's them the opportunity. But then in between, sometimes I thought, why this piece of paper matter? Not necessary. Just study more, listen teaching again and again, and try to make a little bit transformation if there's possibility to make less aggressive, less jealous, less attached, less competitive and biased mind, and increase the what we need, loving kindness, compassion, a little bit. Even though you are not really able to do much, but you are inspired with that, let's do that. The piece of paper doesn't really much matter. And maybe if someone want to do some, professionally teach in somewhere, university, colleges, then the piece of papers matter too, right? And the examination matter too. So then they were sort of point out that this is really strongly, you should have it. I was kind of obsessed reading about this, and His Holiness say, His Holiness speak like repeatedly. We should create this Geshe program for the nuns again and again, almost like a reciting mantra in the huge public teaching gathering, right? You know that. And then His Holiness, when His Holiness say it must have deeper reason, we should take it because we are the first generation who have got this wonderful opportunity because of His Holiness, many of our teachers. So you should, you can't be lazy, you should do it. And then, we did it then. So thank you so much, and thank you very much.
Can we have questions?
If you have any question, yes,
Yes.
welcome, please. Any question?
Question
Could be any
Would you,
debate. Mark like debate is really good.
what is the, so the curriculum for obtaining Geshe degree? Maybe could you say a little bit about the topics? for
Oh,
that?
okay, yeah. For the curriculum of the Geshe Master degree, it's like this. In each individual nunnery have slightly different duration of the year. We have to study the we call 5 major Buddhist philosophical texts, which means Pramanavartika, right? Logic, Buddhist logic, eschatology, Pramanavartika. Then the Parchin meaning perfection of wisdom, which is commentary of the Prajna Paramita Sutra, and then Madhyamika, the middle way, and then Vinaya, the monastic code, and then Abhidharma. So in our nunnery at Jamia Chiling, we study preliminary practice of debate, about 3 years, where you cover the collective topics, call it collective topic Dvita, and then Buddhist psychology, Lurik, and then brief tenet system, Dukta, for 3 years, and then after that professional wisdom, Parchin, 6 years, 9. And then Madhyamika, the middle way, 3 years. And then Abhidharma, 2 years. And then Vinaya, or the monastic code, 2 years. So total about 16, 17 years we study. And then the Pramanavartika, we study 2 months in each year while we are studying the perfection wisdom. And then the Madhyamika, 3 years. 2 months in each year, that end up like 2 or 3 years kind of time. And we have to finish at least, we have to study, attend classes, and debate, then do the examination each year, and you have to pass all of the study. And each year you have annual examination, written, debate, and writing grammar also, not only the philosophy, language, grammar, poetry, and a little bit history, Tibetan history, Buddhist history. And then you have to at least like 17 to 18 years each nunnery, individual nunnery. When you finish that, and then you have to do revision all over again while we are doing the 4-year Geshema examination. You have to do the revision all over again. It's a good.
You need 2 months.
No, you do the revision all over again in 4 years. And then the 4-year curriculum is like this. Each year you have, let's say, 5 written exam, 3 debate. Philosophy, 3 written exam, and then Tibetan language, and then history, and then science. 6 written exam,
Science.
and then 3 oral exam. So 9 different, tests each year. So then the final year, which is the year 4, You have to write a thesis on any topic, not less than 60 pages. You can pick up any topic for about
60 pages.
yeah, not less than 60 pages. It's A4 size. You have to write a kind of thesis or dissertation, and you can pick up. You can do this research on like a Four Noble Truth or bodhicitta. Or you can pick up any topic, and you have to write by yourself. So then you finish. then you finish the study. Then you get the degree. Yes,
The
yes.
science you're talking about, the Buddhist science or Western science now, is that?
Modern science, yes. Basic.
Modern science.
Yeah, very basic science, but
That's
like the science is actually the first year is science in the brain anatomy.
Anatomy of the
I think so. And then I can't remember the topic now, but yeah, it's very basic. But the year 4 is it was kind of tough. It's really complicated. Physics is there. But I will tell you one story. This is really interesting about the science exam. Most of them in my group, most of us never been to a normal school. I mean, never had in the kind of a secular kind of education before they become a nun. So we don't have any idea much about this basic science. But we read here and there a little bit, and I actually participate some of the science workshop, the Emery program and the Science of Monks program a few times. So more or less I have some idea. But then when it comes to this problem solving with some of the very complicated physics, no hope. But anyway, I'll tell you one story, really interesting story. I think the year 3, and the science question paper, our science exam question paper, and that the question paper says like, draw a cell, draw a cell, and then name of some of the part. For example, the cytoplasm or maybe nucleus, I don't know, whatever these different, what was that? Mitochondrion, something, some name of this cell. Draw a cell and write 3-4 names of the part. And then what did some of the nuns did? Some nuns draw elephant. Okay, and some nuns draw a bird. But I know what to draw, but I'm very terrible about drawing. I don't know what to draw because how the cell look like, and then the nucleus, how it look like, how the mitochondria look like, how the cytoplasm look like this. But when we finished the exam and written and come back, and at the hallway, everybody was giggling, laughing, and we said, "What happened?" Say, you know what I wrote for this? I draw elephant. And some other one said, I draw a bird. And some said, I draw a tree. The elephant is a cell, and maybe the trunk is a mitochondrion, or maybe the leg. I don't know. This is what did. It's really true.
Well, they were never taught science at all.
Well, we studied a little bit. There's some textbooks is there, but very immediate sort of, everybody was putting too much, effort on the philosophy.
Yes.
And then, science is more like a kind of, it's okay. Whether you pass or not, doesn't matter either. But also the science, the point is not really, if you fail, you're not fail.
Oh.
So, what was that? The subject, you have to pass the philosophy, you have to pass the Tibetan grammar, and you have to pass the history. No, sorry, philosophy. You have to pass the philosophy. You call it the main subject and then the optional. The Tibetan language and the history, and then the science is more like a branch. It's called the branch subject, and the optional subject and the main subject. So if you have failed in the philosophy, written and debate, you have failed. If you have failed in the grammar or science or history, you're not failed. So that was, given, and because of that, they don't pay much attention about the science or the others.
Oh.
I think they pay more serious. They take serious about the history and Tibetan grammar, but nowadays maybe the young nuns are taking serious kind of about the science. But in my group, there were very few who take it serious about that, because you don't know, and then you just draw, and even sometimes you don't understand the question either. So what to do? Anyway, yeah. Another question. It's nice, no? Drawing elephant and birds are beautiful. We love it.
You have to study Tantra also?
Yeah. Actually, Tantra is not really the part of the Geshema program itself. So you can study before, you can study individually, or you can go to in a group to study, because the Tibetan Nuns Project and Domaling have created make the connection with the Gyuda Monastery, because which is really close to each other. So then those Geshemas who finish Geshema's degree have been finished, they stay 1 year in Domaling and go to the Tantric study to Gyuda Monastery.
Same as the men.
What was that?
Same as the men, same curriculum.
I think so.
Not in the same room, but I mean the same study.
I think so, yeah. But I personally, what we did is, when we finished at Jamia Chilin, our requirement of the Geshe exam, and we had some gap in between. And some of us actually attended some of the tantric study with some of our teachers at the IBD. And then somehow I felt like I don't want to join in group. I don't know why. When your heart say not that much, then I don't go. So I didn't really participate in a group for the tantric study, but we have received a lot of teachings and empowerment initiation from His Holiness for many years, and then we study in individual teachers. So yes.
One-on-one, individual teaching.
We were at in group also, and then individual too. Yeah. Yes, it is very important to study Tantra, definitely, as a blessing.
Yeah.
To invoke a little bit our Buddha nature. Maybe there's some hope in the future sometime,
Yes.
when the time is ready, because we have the culture chakra and His Holiness the culture himself. So yeah. Yes.
Yes. Were you allowed to debate with monks and
Yes,
their
yes.
monastics?
Yes.
So you went to monasteries as a group and debated with monks?
When you do the formal study, the nuns study at the nunnery, and we attend the classes and the debate separately in the nunneries. But we are actually the first group of Jamia Chulin nunnery. Okay, in Jamia Chulin, how did that happen? Was Lekshe Tsomo, who founded the nunnery, she somehow linked us to the IBD teachers. So we got the opportunity to attend many classes with the IBD monks. So Samila knows about that. And then some of our teachers actually, when we were studying, they arranged us to go to watch the debate when the IBD monks are debating. They invite us to attend a group debate, long night group debate, or sometimes you do this in inter-class debate competition. The upper class and lower class, they do some competition studies and debate, and we go to watch the debate, listen them, and sometimes even attending classes together. But more or less nuns are studying at the nunneries, and debate at the nunneries, and the monks are studying at the monasteries. So it's not really the kind of mixture.
You were very, very fortunate.
Yeah, we were really fortunate.
We are.
Thank you. We are all.
We have
Thank
one
you.
question from online. If
Okay.
you could answer.
So thank you.
If you could read my.
Yeah, thank you to His Holiness the Dalai Lama and many other concerned teachers, friends. So it's really fortunate. It's really fortunate, I think. Thank you. So we have one. You said Buddha does not mean Buddhist. Could you, if it is, appropriate, say anything about the Islam and Buddhism work without function in, what is that? Oh,
That's Jeff.
Islam and Buddhism work without friction. Do you know what it is?
Friction,
Friction.
conflict.
Okay. There's no conflict between Buddhism and Muslim. Sometimes there was a little small kind of friction or small, communal sort of conflict, but not a major thing. So I would say you don't have to worry. The Muslim brothers, sisters, and the Buddhist brothers, sisters in Zanskar Ladakh, they are really, and this is the question that came from online. They are really friendly, and especially when His Holiness the Dalai Lama visit Zanskar, they are so happy to see His Holiness and listen to him, and they are the first who run to welcoming him. So yes, small here's there, yes, they have, but it's not because of the religion itself. It's more like the individual people, way of thinking is like poor. I would say it's not really the religion itself. It's more the individual. Some individual people don't know much about the bigger picture of the religion itself. So because of that, just small kind of conflict could create that. It's everywhere. It's not only particularly in Zanskar. You have many different parts of the world. You do have this kind of thing, but it shouldn't be escalate. It shouldn't be like a big big issue. So small things are there. We deal with it, and you have to just get the skill to how to deal with it. And Zanskari people are really happy right now. I see that when His Holiness visited just a few weeks ago, and there were so many people came, not just the Zanskari Buddhists or the Muslim, but outside people from Himachal, neighboring states, even like Arunachal, another northeast states of India, and foreigner, Tibetans, and so many people were there. And so Zanskari people are enjoying the friendship and the harmonious at there. So you don't have to worry about that. Yeah, I think that answers for your question. There's no there's no friction or no conflict right now. No. Thank you.
People want to get in touch with you, Forest of Wisdom, that's where you reside now, that's your home in the United States.
So are you asking me?
Yeah.
Oh, what was I saying?
People want to find you
People
right
want to
now.
find Forest of Wisdom.
You're at Forest.
Oh, yeah. Currently, I'm residing at the Forest of Wisdom in Scotland, Connecticut. So I'm I'm teaching there.
And you're
weekly
teaching
teaching.
online.
On both online and offline, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You want to make everyone know that.
Who are your students in Scotland?
There are some local people who come. Actually, some of the students who were, used to be one of our teachers who was teaching at the Middletown in Connecticut. One of my first philosophy teachers, from Namgyal Monastery, and who moved to in the United States to teach. And there are a few of them actually. His former students come,
Yeah.
and then there are some new who come to listen. So it looks like they are more kind of interested to learn about this Buddhist concept, the principle, to put in their life, to make some differences in their way of thinking, or maybe to change, to get some peace of mind. So I think it looks like there's some interest out there, and I've been here for about almost 4 months now. But yeah, so far it's going okay.
What happened to the teacher?
Which
who
one?
was there?
Oh, he passed away about 3 years ago.
Oh.
He was teaching at this called Buddhist Center called Genesic Tibetan Buddhist Center in Middletown, which is about 40 minutes from the Forest of Wisdom where I'm right now. Yeah, he passed away I think 3 years ago. I think
Jeff and Lori.
Yeah, Jeff and Lori, yes.
Geshe Kensu.
Oh.
Geshe
Wanga.
Kensu Wanda Rinpoche, yes. Geshe, yeah. Kensu Wanda Rinpoche, so it's known as Kensu Rinpoche, because he was the former abbot of Namgyal Monastery.
Ooh.
So I was studying with him when he was serving as an abbot of the monastery there. Yeah.
When I come back from the thought of, the word Buddha or the
What was
name
that?
Buddha, the enlightened one,
Uh-huh.
it's what I'm seeing in my life is basically, it's like an onion pulling a layer back.
What was that? Sorry.
It's like being an onion pulling a layer back and realizing something and there's something else, so I gotta go deeper, and keep going deeper.
Your own mind you're talking about.
I didn't get
In
it.
your own
Did you-
practice.
In my own
In
practice.
his process
or
of learning.
when
Oh,
people-
process of
when
learning.
people
Yes, yes, yes,
decide
yes.
Buddha's not a
Is it-
god or person.
Yeah, Buddha is not a
It's
god.
the
It's
awakening
oh,
process.
exactly. It's a
And
process,
the process
definitely.
of awakening is like an onion. pulling
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
layer
That's really
after
good
layer
metaphor.
after layer
Beautiful
after
metaphor.
layer.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's
Oh.
beautiful metaphor. Exactly. Yeah.
You
Peel
try to peel
each
an onion,
each layer and then get the essence.
You pull your own
Right?
layers.
That's
That's
what I
really
mean.
beautiful. To take out each
Yeah.
layer and then you get the essence
Yeah.
one day.
But you were talking about the name Buddha, the word Buddha.
Yeah, Buddha means
Awakening.
Changchup in Tibetan.
Yeah,
Changchup.
awakening.
Yeah,
And
Buddha,
I just-
you know, like
I had this
Sangye.
vision
And you're getting
Doing
everything
an
and
onion,
getting rid of
yeah.
everything.
right.
of-
Yeah, the Tibetan word about Buddha is Sangye or Changchup. Sangye, Sang mean, you know, free of all the affliction or the stain. Geba mean, you know, expand your knowledge or the knowledge of the path, the realization. different term you could use. Yeah.
Geshema, thank you very much.
Thank you so much,
See you
Tony
in the
Lab.
future. Now people know how to find you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you so
Thank you.
much for coming.
Thanks
I
for your
said-
cheerfulness. You really
Thank you. Thank you so
Genuine
much.
smile.
Yeah, we are all
Genuine
connected.
smile.
I really feel we are all connected really well.
We are
So
now.
this is how the karma karma work, right? mean action. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Tachina.
So now we have refreshments, eating, relaxing, you know, whatever, drinking, not alcohol.
I have brought this blessing thread and then money pills, and it's actually, of course, it's blessed by His Holiness the Dalai Lama, and there's a bless. It's a freshly. It's been for 4 months now, because the day before the day I left Dharamsala, I took just ran to a temple and I saw there's some blessings. Oh, I should get some blessing, and if someone in the state maybe want to have. I took to the office, and it was actually, there was a huge number of people who were on the queue to have the audience of His Holiness. And I just ran to the gate and asked one of the security guy, can you take this to His Holiness to bless? And he just ran and bless it. So I have a blessing thread. No, it's the power of you, power of His Holiness. And so you could distribute it.
Whoever wants.
The blessing
Take.
pills is
you want.
money pills. We call them money pills. I think you may be
there's-
familiar with that.
So we have protection
Aaron, we're
cords
off.
and then.
No, we're still on, I'm waiting for
Take
you
it
to
off.
offer the.
No, not online.
No,
Okay.
So these also, huh?
yeah.
Okay.
I hope there's enough. If not, I have